In a land where honor was valued more than life, and silence spoke louder than words, warriors walked with dignity and died with grace. These were the samurai, men of unwavering discipline, loyalty, and an unbreakable moral code. At the heart of their identity was not just armor or ritual, but a blade. Not just any blade, the katana. The katana emerged around the 10th to 12th centuries in Japan, during a time of political transition and civil unrest. As the samurai class rose to prominence, they needed a weapon that was not only powerful, but also compact, agile, and a reflection of a warrior's character. Before the katana, Japanese swords were usually straight, much like Chinese swords. However, due to different fighting styles and terrains, the Japanese realized that a slightly curved blade, designed to be drawn and cut in a single motion, was far more effective. The katana has a distinctive design, a curved, single-edged blade, typically around 60 to 80 centimeters long, with a long hilt for two-handed grip. This allowed the warrior to draw and strike in a split second, an art known as aido. But the katana was more than just a weapon. For the samurai, it was a symbol of honor, soul, and virtue. A fine katana was considered the soul of the warrior. When a samurai died, his sword was often buried with him as part of his being. The katana's forging process was unlike any other sword. Each blade was made from multiple layers of steel, balancing hardness and flexibility through dozens of hours of heating, folding, hammering, and quenching. The swordsmith was not just a craftsman, but a meditative artist. The Japanese swordsmithing tradition, known as tamahagane, used a rare type of steel made from iron sand. Each sword took months to complete and underwent strict quality testing. Some blades were named and passed down through generations as treasured heirlooms. Beyond technique, the forging process was also spiritual. Swordsmiths often purified themselves before working and regarded the creation of a katana as a sacred connection between man, nature, and the warrior spirit. For centuries, the katana became an inseparable part of the samurai, like an extension of his body. A samurai could tolerate the loss of honor, but never the loss of his sword. As Japan modernized in the late 19th century, the samurai class was gradually dissolved, and the katana was no longer a primary weapon of war. Yet, the spiritual value of the katana endured in Japanese culture through martial arts, cinema, and tradition. Today, the katana remains a global symbol of Japanese culture, embodying the fusion of artistry, martial spirit, and spirituality. In the world of the samurai, owning a katana alone was not enough to define one's status. Only true warriors of noble class had the right to wear two swords, a long katana and a shorter wakizashi, known as daisho. In Japanese, dai means big, and sho means small. This sword pair was more than just weapons. It was a symbol of honor, discipline, and the soul of a samurai. The katana, with its elegant curved blade about 70 centimeters long, was the primary battle weapon, fast, powerful, and precise. The wakizashi, shorter at around 30 to 60 centimeters, was kept close at all times, even indoors. It was often used for close combat or as a last resort. Most solemnly, the wakizashi was used in the ritual of seppuku, self-disembowelment to preserve honor when disgraced. Wearing the daisho was not just a right, it was a responsibility and a lifelong commitment to bushido, the way of the warrior. The katana is forged from a special type of steel known as tamahagane, made from traditional Japanese iron sand. Tamahagane is considered extremely pure and is smelted over several days in a traditional clay furnace called a tatara. Once the steel is ready, The swordsmith folds the metal repeatedly, sometimes up to 15 or 20 times. This creates thousands of ultra-thin layers, giving the blade both strength and flexibility. This structure allows the katana to absorb heavy impact without breaking, ideal for real combat. It's a perfect balance between art and function. But what makes each katana unique is the hamon, a wave-like temper line formed by differential hardening. The blade's edge is coated differently from the spine before heating and quenching, resulting in this signature pattern. The hamon is not only beautiful, but also reveals the skill of the swordsmith. No two are ever the same. The katana is legendary for its ability to slice through light armor in a single blow. Its curved design allows for a smoother and deeper cut than a straight blade. One of the katana's deadliest strengths lies in its draw speed. A skilled samurai could draw and strike in just 0.5 seconds, faster than the eye can follow. This technique gave birth to a martial art called iaido, the art of drawing and cutting in a single fluid motion. In the hands of a master swordsman, the katana is not just a weapon, it becomes a dance of death, graceful, fluid, and lethal. Every strike is as precise as it is deadly. The katana was never drawn casually. For the samurai, drawing the sword meant life or death, a moment of absolute seriousness. It was only unsheathed when honor was insulted, when the enemy posed a serious threat, or when protecting loved ones. In extreme cases, the katana was used not on the enemy, but on oneself. This was the ritual of seppuku, suicide to preserve one's honor when shame was unbearable. The katana, therefore, represented life, death, and the code of honor. It was a companion, a discipline, and the final boundary in a warrior's life. Today, the katana is no longer a weapon of war, yet it continues to be crafted, collected, and displayed as a symbol of the samurai spirit. Resilient, calm, and deeply disciplined. For the Japanese, a katana placed on the ancestral altar represents courage, integrity, and unwavering loyalty. And perhaps, for each of us, there should be a sword within our soul. Not to fight others, but to conquer ourselves, to uphold dignity through the challenges of life.